Now, to finish off this unit, we're going to talk about the fact that we can omit modifiers, certain modifiers in interfaces. The reason for this is that every single data field present in an interface has to be public final static, and because of that, we don't have to explicitly say that. The compiler is going to assume it. We can't, on the other hand, make it private or something else, because that would not be public final static. We either have to explicitly put it in or leave it out completely, in which case the compiler will put it in for us. Similarly, all methods need to be public abstract in the case of interfaces. So we can put that in if we like, or we can leave it out completely. But we can't, for example, say private or something else, because then that wouldn't be public abstract. In other words, if you look at the middle of this slide, you can see where in boldface we have what these things have to be. That is, the data member K that's defined here has to be public static final, so we can go ahead and put that in if we want. And similarly, the method below it, P, has to be public abstract, so we can put that in if we want. But since those are mandatory, they can't be something else, we can just leave them out completely, and that's exactly what's happened on the right hand side box there, where you can see we haven't said anything about visibility or the fact that it's abstract, but it's understood to be that way, and the compiler will put it in for us if we leave it out. Therefore, we're allowed to simply omit it. One final point is that just as with classes, when you have static constants, you can use the class name and you don't need to create an object of the class first to access the constant. Similarly, with interfaces, we can use the interface name directly dot constant name. So the way that relates to the example on this slide is that we have an interface called T1. It has a defined public static final constant K, and we can refer to that constant as just T1.K. There's no need to make a class that implements it, make an object out of that class, and then access .k, but we can just use the interface name directly with a .k following it. This is very similar to the pi constant in the math package. For example, you can say math.pi. You don't need to implement something and then use pi, but you just put the class name in front, .pi. And similarly, that's what's happening here. You put the interface name dot the constant name.